Hello, I'm Amanda and welcome to the channel. I'm really happy today because I didn't think I was going to get a chance to film this weekend. It's been so wet, but somehow there is actually a break in the rain and I'm going to be able to get a job done in my front garden. Because let me tell you, I have got one soggy mess to sort out. Well, I did say it was a mess, right? And I wasn't lying. Yeah, so what has happened there? Well, now I had tomatoes growing in the planters out there in the front garden. And last weekend I decided to remove those tomatoes because I knew that some really cold weather was coming this week. And I wasn't wrong. So I harvested the last of my tomatoes and I removed those tomato plants. I couldn't bring myself to remove the nasturtiums that I had growing there because they were still looking so beautiful and they were still flowering. But yeah, as predicted, the frost got them and they all died and they've left a bit of a soggy mess. So I better go and sort that out. Now, in saying that, I'm absolutely not going to waste the plant material. It's very tempting to think about ripping up the plant and putting it on the compost bin because it is such a mess. But there's a lot of goodness in the nasturtium leaves, and those planters have been working really hard for me all summer long, feeding tomatoes, which are a very, very hungry crop. And I want to return that goodness basically back to where it came from. So I'm going to be chopping and dropping that in place. So let's get on with that now before the rain falls, because I really don't know how long I've got. Now what you'll see is when I'm chopping and dropping here, I'm not going to be removing the roots. I want to keep the roots in the planters to try and keep the soil structure. I'm just literally putting the material that's fallen over the side of the planters back into the planters. Now look what I found, people. Some of the nasturtium plants have the unripe seed heads on them. And you know, all parts of the plant are edible. Now, some people say that this is the poor man's caper. I don't think those people have actually tried capers because they taste absolutely nothing like capers. It's actually an incredibly intense, peppery, almost like a wasabi flavour. So I'm going to go in, people. Yeah. Now what you'll see then is alongside the natural material here that I'm putting in place, I'm also adding in other materials like cardboard and things like that just to bring the soil level back up. Because when I put these planters in place last spring, because they're 4 massive planters, I didn't want to be using, I don't know, however many bags of soil. It could have got really expensive. So I mainly filled them using natural materials. But of course, what happens then is during the season, they break down and the level drops. So I'm adding in materials now to help bring that level back up. So they're in a good place for me to start using them next year. Hey, so I managed to get that job done in the dry, which is nothing short of a miracle, quite frankly, given how wet it's been this weekend. And I have now sorted that soggy mess out. The reason why I'm doing it is because those nasturtium plants, when they die back, they're going to put so much goodness back into the soil, and that's going to help give me lots of tasty tomatoes next year. Now that's the method I'm using for my planters in the front garden. In the back garden here, where I've got annuals that have died back, I'm just going to let them die back in place, really. I'm not going to do anything. If you find aesthetically it looks a bit messy, then you can do a bit of chop and dropping as I've shown, but I would resist the urge to remove the plant material entirely. The first is that it's always a good idea to keep roots in the soil because it helps to prevent soil erosion and it just keeps the soil structure. But also, when you think about it, if you let it die back in place, you're allowing the nutrients to return to the soil in the exact same spot that they've been taken from. Whereas, if you take out the whole plant, you put it on your compost bin. Next year come spring, you're going to have to try and return the nutrients to the soil, and you're probably going to be spreading compost. So you've kind of given yourself an extra job that you didn't need to do. And I guarantee that come next spring, we're all going to have loads and loads of things to do anyway. So why not save yourself one of them? Now that's the end of the video. I've been wanting to do that job for a few days, but I've been holding off until the weather got that little bit better because I really wanted to show you that. Particularly because when I started this channel, the front garden makeover was one of the first things that I worked on. And by the way, if you've been supporting me since the beginning, thank you so much for that. If you've never seen those videos, I have created a playlist and I will put a link in the description because you might want to check them out. As always, you know what I'm going to say. If you've enjoyed watching this video, do like, let me know your comments, and of course you could go completely crazy and subscribe. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.